Hello all, welcome to the Happiness at 1111 channel. Hold on, baby. Where we are committed to happiness, connectedness, and being you authentically and unapologetically. I keep stumbling on that part. Okay, again, here's Tay Tay.
Hey! I got banana. I got tea.
You got what?
Got some dice.
Uh-huh.
I got some meat in the house.
You got dinner in the house? You talking about what you cooked?
Yeah, got that.
Oh, that on top of the house. Okay. Well, tell them bye. This is Mommy's video. You can do your own video, okay?
Look at that.
Yeah, look at that. Okay, say bye.
Bye.
Okay, you be quiet while Mommy records. Okay, this is Let's Talk Tuesday. Bye, Tay Tay. This is Let's Talk Tuesday, which is a follow-up to Mental Health Motivation Monday. I want to thank all my new subscribers. Thank you guys so much. If you haven't subscribed, please consider. It's a great way to support us YouTubers. You can also comment and let us engage with you all. I'm definitely responding to my comments. You can like and share this video. Thank you so much for considering any of the above. So what's on my mind right now is the advice or the feedback that my husband just gave me. So he was saying that he watched, I think, a couple of my recent videos and maybe was looking at me through the window just now when I did a previous video, and he gave me some great feedback. He said I look down a lot, which I don't recall looking down, but I think what I recall in a lot of my videos is I might do this like with my eyes, and it's because I do prepare for these videos, but I don't have a script. And so a lot of the time when I'm doing like this or looking down, I believe it's when I'm thinking. So what I'm going to try to do is incorporate his awesome feedback, and I'm going to try to look straight forward and see how that goes. But so thanks, hubby, for giving me that feedback. I appreciate it. So this is Let's Talk Tuesday, and what I do on Tuesdays is I tie it back into Monday's topic. So on Monday I kind of tied in actually the last 4 weeks of video topics. We talked about how to have great mental health. You've got to monitor and know your thoughts. You're having 60 to 90,000 thoughts a day, even if you're not realizing it. So that's really important for mental health. Oh, I gotta do my time check. We also talked about limiting beliefs. We talked about manifesting mantras, which are supposed to replace those limiting beliefs. And lastly, we talked about the phrase intention, attention, no tension. Oh, Taylor, this is not your video, baby. Bye.
No.
Bye, hunty. No, for real. Don't get in trouble. Bye, sweetie.
No.
You don't get a treat if you mess up Mommy's video. You want a treat? Okay, bye, girl. Go play. So that's what we talked about. And so today on Tuesday, what I try to do is 2 things. I try to ask y'all some questions to get you thinking, to get you to pull out your journal and to write, to get you to comment down below. And I also try to give you examples from my life while respecting, people that are in my life without giving, too much information about them, but just really focusing on me. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do some examples, then we're going to, I want y'all to comment below with some examples. You got to be quiet. You got to bring down the volume. Shh, shh, shh. So here's the example I have for thought. So a lot of people know me as a very optimistic person, and I can be very positive. Taylin, that's very distracting. You're not doing too well with it. I am back, and right back to thoughts. So the example I'm going to give you all, I think I was a little bit closer. The example I want to give you all is, and it's also limiting beliefs. So I talked about how growing up in a single parent home, for the most part, my dad, do have a relationship with my dad now, but for a lot of my childhood, it was primarily my mom, and not other family members as well, so primarily just her. So there's a lot of things in our life, not a lot of things, there are pretty much probably a handful of things for most of us that happen in our childhood that really formed who we are to a certain extent. Not really formed who you are, I shouldn't say that. Things that have happened in our life that formed maybe some of our limiting beliefs and some of our... Tay, that's too loud, baby. Taylin. Oh, yeah, she's not going to get no treat because she can hear me. Taylin, that's too loud, sweetheart. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So, there's some things that happen to a lot of us in our childhood that formed what we believe. And so, seeing my mom do so much by herself was inspiring. Like, there's so much inspiration I have for her, but there's also a lot of heaviness that I've healed that I didn't realize was heaviness, because again, I'm an optimistic person. So when it comes to thoughts, as soon as I became a mom, I became a much more negative person. I will say that before becoming a mom, I was kind of like an, yes, positive and nice person, but kind of like stress on the inside, like always trying to do. But when I added being a mom to the mix, which actually happened in college in my undergraduate degree, it really changed me. Like, I was so happy to be a mom, but I was so overwhelmed and I felt like I didn't have enough help. And I'm not going to be the person on this channel to point outward and blame other people for my life. And I will say that some people do have true situations where they can do that. But for me, you know, most of us are going through experiences where you got to realize there's things that you can do and there's things that you're attracting. And I got to be careful with that because I don't believe everything in life you're attracting, you know. So it gets a little weird to think about how much control you have and what you're manifesting, right? So the moral of the story is, when it comes to our thoughts, I wanted to give you all the example of how I went from being pretty balanced with my thoughts to being very negative with my thoughts. And had I not caught it and really, had I not probably been studying psychology while my thoughts were spiraling toward the negative, I can't even imagine where that would have led me. But it was my feeling that I didn't have enough help, which I actually did have a lot of help, and not willing to admit that it was a lot of me. So for example, this is a great example. So with my ex-husband, we got into an argument when we just had one. We had Jada, she's my oldest, and I was, I guess, making him feel bad, or attempting to make him feel bad about not helping me enough, which sometimes I honestly still do to this day. I don't do it often, but I'm a human being, guys, and I am, yes, very positive, nurturing, and nice, but I overextend myself, and then I try to make the other person bad. So fast forward to the past with my first, oh yeah, that's me looking down. Oh my goodness, I forgot about not to look down. Uh-oh. I forgot to not look down. But that's what I'm doing. Okay, so yeah. So interesting moment of reflection right now, hubby. So when I'm looking down, it's almost like I'm seeing the past. Like I can literally see what was happening in the past with my ex, me, and Jada. So that's what's happening. I'm like having a vision of the past. So anyways, the thoughts, right? So the negative thoughts were a lot. And the example that I had that was really eye-opening for me, but it still took me years to heal, is that I was telling my ex at the time that, you know, I don't have enough help. You know how much I'm working and I'm in school and I'm doing different things, and why don't you do this? And he was like, you know, you like doing that. You like acting like I don't never try to help you. He's like, but I want you to pay attention to what you do when I try to help you. He's like, next time, I want you to really pay attention to what you do. So I don't know if it was like the next day, but it was sometime relatively near that argument. And my ex at the time was going to change Jada's diaper. I do not know why I did this. It doesn't make any logical sense, but I know I did it because he called me out right in that moment. But he was changing her diaper, and probably what was going on is he wasn't changing her diaper the way I wanted him to, so I was probably being too controlling. But what I did is, let me do a time. I don't even know what time I started, so my watch isn't going to help me. I've got 9 minutes. So what I did is I went over to him while he's changing her diaper, literally took my little arm, pushed him aside and said, I got it. Nicely, but pushed him aside and said, I got it. Thank you for being quiet, Taylin. Thank you, sweetheart. So then what he did is say, he was like, you see what I'm talking about? And in that moment, I literally froze and was like, why did I do that? I don't know. At the time, I didn't know, but I can tell you what I was doing was called self-sabotage. I had a limiting belief that I don't have enough help and that women have to do it all. And so when you have a belief, you're going to create that in your life, guys. So bugs are out here. I put on my spray because it bit me earlier. So even though I had that awareness years and years ago, unfortunately, I didn't do enough healing to really change the behavior completely. And although it's not changed completely now, I do not do it often. I don't play victim. I do not point the finger outward. I try to have a conversation, right? So that's an example of a couple of things. That's an example in my life of the negative thoughts that I had as a mom and as a woman that stemmed from my childhood of seeing my mom as a single parent. Also, that's an example of a limiting belief being played out in action. Because I didn't believe I could have help, and because I believed that women had to do everything, I literally would sabotage the help that I have. And I do that, or did that in professional ways too, like at my job, some full-time jobs, people would offer help, and I often would decline it because I wanted to be nice. I didn't want to take time for other people. And so I've learned over the years in my personal and professional life that I really have to be, embrace help if I want it, right? Don't sabotage what, when you're trying to receive what you ask for. So I'll give you an example of a manifesting mantra. What's an example? I am so blank-minded right now. So what I'll say, you know what I want to do? I want to give you all an example of something I've manifested through mantras, or through this process of having positive thoughts, replacing my limited beliefs with manifesting mantra. I want to give you all a concrete example. So what is that concrete example that I want to give? Well, I didn't have a mantra with that one. I'm thinking about my Honda. My little '03 Honda Civic that I've had forever was so clearly an example of law of attraction, but I didn't really have a manifesting mantra with it. But I'll still give you that example because it's still manifestation, and it's still about positive thoughts. So I went through a phase where I kind of didn't believe in God and then believed in God, or I didn't believe in God and then I tried to believe in God in prayers, and I just wanted to be more positive. And it was, again, after Jada. So after becoming a mom, I was trying to intentionally change my life. And so on the note of Jada, this is all coming together. At the time, I had a awesome, oh my gosh, they are killing me. Come on, man. My lavender and stuff is supposed to be helping. It is a little bit, I guess. I had a sports car. And yes, you could fit people in the back seat, but not no car seat wouldn't really fit like that. So I was like, we got to get rid of this car, get a better car. So I did my research. And at the time, in college, I didn't know too much about what kind of cars I wanted. I got a sports car. It was my first car because it was cool, right? And so as a maturing parent, I figured I need to think about finances and reliability and safety. And so when I looked up safe car, reliable car, low maintenance car, Honda Civic was top of the list, right? Not a lot of gas. So I specifically did some things that I learned about law of attraction, writing it down. So I was writing it down, saying, I wanted a car with that I didn't have to spend a lot on gas. So I am looking down a lot, and I'm literally, again, every time I look down, I'm seeing things. I'm seeing the car. So that's what's going on, hubby. But I do like the feedback. I think I should look more directly in the front. So the Honda, I was asking God for something like a Honda Civic. And again, at the time, I barely even believed in God, but I was trying to experiment with prayer. I was trying to experiment with law of attraction. I was like, what hurt could it cause? I wrote down some things. I said a prayer. And you know what? This is such a perfect example because it was intention, attention, no tension. And then what I did is I let it go. Like, I wasn't too stressed about it for whatever reason. I wasn't rushing the process. I was just super chill. I don't know why I was so chill. I really don't know why. But, because I'm not always the chillest person. But within a couple of days, guys, I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina. I was living in Gastonia, and I drive past this Honda Civic on the side of the road, and I look at the price, and it's within my price range, but it's a lot newer than what I was expecting. So, newer, I mean, at the time, it was, 2009, so it was a 6-year-old car, which is not that bad at all. But for my budget, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get something like that. So I'm like, a 2003 Honda Civic. I looked up the value of it, and it was like ranging from like $8,000 to like $9,000. I'm like, why is this price tag say $4,000 or $3,900? Long story short, because yes, time is a ticking. It's been, oh my gosh, 15 minutes. Yes, time to wrap it up. Long story short, y'all, I got the car that I wanted within a few days of experimenting with prayer, manifestation, and very specific things for half the price of its value. I got an $8,000 to $9,000 car because it was in great. I mean, now it's not in the best condition. I mean, I've driven the heck out of that car. I've driven it everywhere, up and down the East Coast, guys. But at the time, it only had 98,000 miles on it. It was in great condition, and it was priced at $3,900. So, anyways, that is my example, personal example of how positive thoughts, overcoming limiting beliefs, because I had to think about abundance and think about how to manifest a car that I could afford. And lastly, manifestation itself, a mantra itself, speaking that over your life, praying about it. And that's also an example of intention, attention, no tension. I knew exactly what I wanted. I wanted a car that was safe, reliable, low maintenance, and good with gas. and then I just let it go. Guys, I mean, I feel like at the time I thought I might have bought a car the next month, 2 months down the road, but I bought it 2 days later. Like, that was my biggest, one of the biggest reasons why I really started to believe in God and believe in manifesting. Some people would call that coincidence, but what I've done, and I'll talk about on this channel, is how I've manifested a lot of other things. My husband, a family, a home, a career that I love, you know, different things. And even specific things. I'll have to journal and remember very specific things that, like, really you can't call that coincidence, right? So, and also when it comes to that Honda, it wasn't like I went and sought it out. That's why I call that law of attraction too. I didn't go to a car lot and look at Hondas. It was like 2 days later, and randomly on the side of the road, I have exactly what I want for sale at my price point. Like, that was God hooking us up. Okay? So that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. Check out my other videos. We got, of course, Mental Health Motivation Monday. That's why I'm doing this video. It's a follow-up. Weight Loss and Management Wednesday. Life Walk Thankful Thursday. Soulful Sunday. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Tay-Tay, for quieting down, sweetie. I think she's back on track. We're getting a treat. Be you. Be happy. Comment below with your thoughts on manifesting things. And or anything that we talked about in this video. Comment below with your business, with any way in which we can support you. Okay? Bye, guys.